Have you ever wondered how some people manage to find satisfaction and deep connection in their intimate relationships? Sometimes, the secret lies not in specific techniques but in the way we communicate and connect with our partner. Let me share a story that may bring a new perspective on the importance of communication and emotional connection. In the picturesque town of Sedona, Arizona, surrounded by stunning rock formations and clear skies, lived a lady named Lillian. At 86 years old, Lillian was known for her wisdom and the way she guided others with her advice and stories. Her brown eyes radiated compassion, and her smile always welcomed those who came to her seeking guidance. Lillian lived in a cozy house on top of a hill, with a breathtaking view of the surrounding mountains. The yard, filled with desert plants and colorful flowers, was her refuge, where she spent hours tending to the plants and reflecting on life. It was common for the townspeople, young and old, to come to her for advice or simply to hear her stories, which always contained valuable lessons. On a sunny autumn morning, as the fresh air brought the scent of desert flowers, a young woman named Rebecca went to visit Lillian. Rebecca, a woman in her 30s, was seeking answers to questions that had been bothering her. She had heard something that left her curious and somewhat insecure about her intimate life. "Ms. Lillian," Rebecca began, her voice full of uncertainty, "I heard there's a specific way to ensure that all women feel fully satisfied in their relationships. Is that true? Is there really a method that works for everyone?" Lillian, always patient and welcoming, smiled at Rebecca and invited her to sit with her on the porch, where they could enjoy the view of the mountains and the blue sky. "My dear," Lillian said, her voice soft and comforting, "intimacy is something deeply personal and unique to each individual. There is not a single way to experience satisfaction or connection, as each person has their own needs and desires. Let me tell you a story that might help you understand this issue better." As the wind gently blew, swaying the leaves of the desert plants, Lillian began her story. "Many years ago, I met a woman named Evelyn. Evelyn was an extraordinary person, full of life and with an insatiable curiosity about the world and about herself. She believed that intimacy was one of the most powerful ways to connect with someone, but she also knew that it required communication, trust, and respect." Rebecca listened attentively, absorbing every word as Lillian continued. Evelyn was in a relationship with a man named Daniel. They had a deep connection and loved each other intensely, but like in any relationship, there were moments when they needed to explore new ways to connect intimately. Evelyn believed that the key to a fulfilling life was open communication and a willingness to try new ways of being together. One night, after a long day at work, Evelyn and Daniel were talking on the porch of their home, discussing their experiences and desires. Evelyn, always curious and open, asked Daniel what he thought could make their connection even stronger. "Daniel," she said, her voice full of affection, "what do you think we could do to connect even more, to do something that makes us feel completely close to each other?" Daniel, who also valued communication in their relationship, suggested that they try different ways of being together, paying attention to what made each of them feel more connected and satisfied. For Evelyn and Daniel, Lillian explained, intimacy was not just about the physical, but about finding ways to feel emotionally linked, to make every moment an expression of their love and respect for one another. Evelyn, always willing to explore new possibilities, realized that the secret to a satisfying intimate life was not in a single form or technique, but in both of their willingness to listen to each other and adjust to one another's needs. She understood that, for some people, certain approaches might be more comfortable or enjoyable, but what truly mattered was the emotional connection that accompanied those moments. Over the following months, Evelyn and Daniel dedicated themselves to exploring different ways to be close, always focused on how they could make each experience meaningful and gratifying for both of them. They began to realize that, more than the technique or position, what really mattered was the environment they created for themselves. an environment of trust, security, and affection. Lillian took a pause, allowing the story to resonate in Rebecca's mind. Evelyn and Daniel discovered that true satisfaction in intimacy came from open communication and the willingness to explore together, without fear of judgment or unrealistic expectations. They learned that, for each person, what brings true satisfaction can vary. The important thing is that both are committed to discovering what works best for them as a couple. Rebecca, absorbing Lillian's words, began to see the issue in a new light. "Then, Mrs. Lillian," she said, her voice now more assured, "there isn't a single way that works for everyone. The secret is communication and the willingness to explore together?" Lillian nodded, a serene smile lighting up her face. "Exactly, my dear. Each person is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. The true secret to a fulfilling and satisfying life lies in open communication, in being willing to learn and grow together. When both partners are committed to this journey of mutual discovery, satisfaction comes naturally." In the days that followed, Rebecca reflected deeply on Evelyn and Daniel's story. She realized that instead of worrying about finding a one-size-fits-all formula for satisfaction, she should focus on how to communicate better with her partner and how they could both explore together what worked best for them. Rebecca understood that true intimacy was not in specific techniques or positions, but in how she and her partner emotionally connected and respected each other's desires and boundaries. But Evelyn and Daniel's journey didn't stop there. They decided to deepen their connection even further, exploring not only physical intimacy but also emotional and spiritual intimacy. They started engaging in activities together that fostered a deeper connection, such as meditation, sharing their innermost thoughts, and building a space where both could be completely vulnerable and authentic. Evelyn discovered that the more they connected on an emotional and spiritual level, the more intense and satisfying their connection became. She realized that when both were fully present with each other, any technique or approach became secondary. What truly mattered was the depth of the connection they shared. Daniel, for his part, learned to value these experiences in a new way. He began to understand that true satisfaction did not come merely from fulfilling Evelyn's physical desires, but from connecting with her on a deeper level, understanding and respecting her feelings, and creating an environment where both felt safe and loved. Over time, Evelyn and Daniel began to share their experiences with close friends, helping other couples understand that true intimacy goes far beyond the physical. They taught that the key to a fulfilling and satisfying life lies in cultivating communication, respect, and affection, and in being willing to explore together, without pressure or unrealistic expectations. Lillian, observing Rebecca blossom in her new understanding, felt a deep satisfaction. She knew that Evelyn's story had helped Rebecca find the confidence to express herself and explore her intimacy in a healthy and respectful way. In the months that followed, Rebecca began to share what she had learned with her friends, helping other women understand that true strength in a relationship comes from acceptance and mutual respect. She encouraged other women to be authentic and not feel ashamed of their preferences. As a result, Rebecca became a respected voice within her social circle, someone whom other women sought out for advice and guidance. Thus, the city of Sedona continued to be a place where stories were told with purpose, where wisdom was passed down from generation to generation, and where each person learned to value individuality and open communication in their relationships. Lillian, with her experience and kindness, continued to guide those seeking answers, helping them find their own truths through the stories she told. If this story touched your heart and you believe in the importance of communication and mutual exploration in relationships, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we will continue exploring the many facets of relationships and intimacy. Until next time.